Oh, man.
Good morning. Welcome to our morning take. My name is Frank Johnson.
My name is Abraham Lawrence.
I'm Nick Seaman.
And I'm Tim Goetz.
And our goal here is to describe for you the movie that is going on in our head when we read the Bible. Yeah, I got through that. Today is Tuesday. It's November the 28th.
And it's episode 227.
So I guess I was right. It is November 28th. It's a Tuesday. Coming up on the last days of November right here.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know, every time I say the word November, I always think of the Edmund Fitzgerald. Who did that song?
Gordon Lightfoot.
Gordon Lightfoot. Did you ever hear that?
Yeah, I don't remember that.
The big lake they call Gitchagumi. And so literally that stupid thing was going through my head the other night, Abe. I literally had to put it on my phone. I'm trying to sleep. I put it on my phone. Put it on my nightstand and listened to the whole Edmund Fitzgerald tale and went to sleep. I was like, I could not get it out of my head.
Oh, yeah.
It's a really long song, isn't
The
it?
winds
Yeah.
of November come early or something like that. It's one of the lines in there. It doesn't give, the something they said never gives up its dead when the gales of November come early or something like that.
See,
That's
now
one
I
of
got to
the
listen to that when I
I
leave
know.
tonight.
I know.
And it's a musician.
Everybody's turning the podcast off to go to listen.
Yeah, it's a musician thing because I can be in bed and I'll be like thinking about a song and then I got to play it and Kelly's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "You would never even understand what's going on
Exactly.
right now." So
Oh,
just
my
go back to
goodness.
sleep.
Yeah. So we're in Genesis chapter 47. We're goofing with the new Pharaoh. We have no idea how young he is.
Clearly, he's a young kid.
He is a young kid.
Yeah.
And this decrepit old man, Jacob, is about to lay hands on him and give him a blessing, for goodness sake. But as Abraham said off the air, he said it kind of reminded him of AJ and some old guy trying to put hands on AJ. He'd be like, "Whoa, wait a minute.
Yeah. He'd be like, "What are you
Where
doing?"
are you going here?
Slow down, Papa.
How many years have you lived?" So verse 9, Jacob said to Pharaoh, "The years of my sojourning are 130. Few have they attained." I'm telling you, my eyeball's screwing me up. All right. "The years of my sojourning are 130. Few and unpleasant have been the years of my life. Nor have they attained the years that my father lived during the days of their sojourning." And Jacob blessed Pharaoh and went out from his presence. So in real language, he's saying, I haven't lived as long as my dad lived, right? We need the Message version. Somebody need to give me some. And he's saying that, is he saying that his life has been fairly miserable?
Yeah.
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 Pretty much. But, I mean, and then the brothers that are in the room, how are they feeling right now?
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
And then Joseph's probably looking at him like, "Yeah, it's your fault. It's all your fault."
By the way, I was reading in this book. It's called The Bible. If you have a chance to get this book, it's awesome. It's a history and geography and the worship of the Bible. And a lot of people conspire to put things into this thing that try to help us to understand the way the Old Testament is written. So they were talking in this book. I was reading it just before the podcast. It was saying that Joseph wasn't the greatest guy in the world like we think that he was. You know, we think of him as a very, very spiritual man. And of course he was. But he had his nuances. Mm-hmm. He was really messing with his brothers. And he liked messing with them because of what they had done to him. Yeah. But here's the thing, though. Judah lets Joseph know that, Judah isn't in on the trick, so he doesn't know what Joseph is doing. He doesn't even know that he's Joseph. But here's the thing, though. Joseph is trying to steal Benjamin and keep him. Absolutely. That was his plan. Let them go on back home, but I'm keeping Benjamin.
Yep.
And Judah basically lets him know, our father will die if this young man doesn't come back.
Yeah.
And the gig is up now. It's like he understands he's messing with his father, not his brothers.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. And that's what really makes him sad.
And this is what we were, last week we were discussing that. It's going, and he's going full tilt. But once Judah starts in talking about my dad's going to die
Yeah.
if he doesn't come back, and
Yeah.
he can't control himself anymore. He's like, I got to stop.
I think he realizes it's more than just messing with my brothers.
Yep.
I'm messing with the old man.
Yeah.
And the last thing Joseph wanted to do was hurt his dad.
Yeah, and even once he reveals himself, he's like, is my dad still alive? Is he
Exactly.
still alive?
Yeah.
Is he still alive?
Yeah. So anyway, I found that extremely interesting, and
Yeah.
and there's a lot of really cool stuff in that book if you get a chance to read through it. Anyway, we're in what verse am I at now? 13, 11?
Oh, no, you're at 11.
Living.
So Joseph settled his father and his brothers and gave them possession in the land of Egypt, in the best of the land, in the land of Ramesses, as Pharaoh had ordered. Joseph provided his father and his brothers and all his father's household with food according to their little ones. I don't think the little ones maybe are that little at this point, but we were noticing as we read through the genealogy last week that some had more than others.
Yeah, I just think that, the food just went according to how many kids you got.
I mean, you said Dan didn't have but like what, one?
One,
He had
yeah.
one kid. And then Benjamin, was it Benjamin that had like 6?
yeah, Benjamin had quite a few. Yeah.
He probably had more than one wife too.
Oh, I'm sure he did.
You know, that's the other thing. We don't talk about this much in Scripture because there's such a theistic view on this whole idea of marriage being one man, one woman. But the fact of the matter is, Abraham took more than one wife, and then Isaac didn't, but then Jacob did, and Jacob basically had 4.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then we read in the genealogy.
Thanks to Laban.
Yeah. And then that's true. It was all Laban's fault.
Yep.
He would have just settled for Rachel.
Oh, that's all he wanted.
But then he would have only had 2 kids. And she would have died after the giving birth to the second one. Imagine what Jacob's life would have been like then. You think Benjamin would have threw him in a pit?
No heart attack. No heart attacks.
I can't take this guy.
He wouldn't be walking around for 30 years saying, I hate my life.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
And speaking of that, let's just go back to when he said that to Pharaoh. This little kid's probably like, man, this guy's ready to check out. He's miserable.
I think he was.
Yeah,
And now
he's miserable.
Now that he knows Joseph's back, he basically is checking out.
Yep.
But what was I saying right before we started all this? There was a train of
about
thought I was kind of going
Bunch
with
of
it.
kids.
Oh yeah, about the
little
different
ones?
the different kind of kid. Yeah, and that the one was born of a Canaanite woman. So we know that was Reuben.
Yep.
Was that Reuben?
It was one of them.
It was either Reuben or Simeon, one of the first couple. But anyway, so we know that they had more than one wife. So there you go. I'm just throwing that out there
No,
for
that's good.
all those that want to complain about my 4 wives. So, there you are. I'm just keeping up with Jacob.
Well, in their defense, they were like, they're just trying to populate the earth because that's what the ancestors told them.
What, Tim?
So they're populating the earth. What's your excuse?
It's all my fault. That's what you told me last week. I have finally come to the conclusion it's my fault. You weren't here for that, Nick. I had to take that persecution from my brother over here.
No, I was there for that one.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's right.
yeah.
Abe was missing.
Yeah.
13.
Now there was no food in all the land because the famine was very severe, so that the land of Egypt and the land of Canaan languished because of the famine. Joseph gathered all the money that was found in the land of Egypt and in the land of Canaan for the grain which they bought, and Joseph brought the money into Pharaoh's house. And when the money was all spent in the land of Egypt and in the land of Canaan, all the Egyptians came to Joseph and said, "Give us food, for why should we die in your presence? For our money is gone." And then Joseph said, "Give up your livestock, and I will give you food for your livestock, since your money is gone." So they brought their livestock to Joseph, and Joseph gave them food in exchange for the horses and the flocks and the herds and the donkeys. And he fed them with food in exchange for all their livestock that year. And when that year was ended, they came to him the next year and said to him, "We will not hide from my lord that our money is all spent and the cattle are my lord's. There is nothing left for my lord except our bodies and our lands. Why should we die before your eyes, both we and our land? Buy us and our lands for food, and we and our land will be slaves to Pharaoh. So give us seed that we may live and not die, and that the land may not be desolate." A lot of theologians have looked, a lot of writers, I should say, not necessarily theologians, a lot of writers have looked at this and thought that Joseph was very overbearing
I think he was very shrewd in his business dealings.
Well, but they want to say he took things to, some kind of limit that didn't need to go there. But I don't see that at all.
I don't either.
Come back tomorrow and we'll give you our morning take.